So if you guys have been following my content over the last many years, you'll know full well that I've always mentioned volume levels with headphones, earphones and IEMs and so on, because I do believe protecting your hearing is crucial towards living a better life along the years and even when you're older. So I finally have bitten the bullet when it comes to buying some sort of hearing protection. If I'm being very honest with you, I've never been to a live concert because I know how loud they can get. But off late, whenever I've visited any restaurants and all, inevitably all of these places are playing music way too loud. It's at 90, 95 decibels. It's very uncomfortable. You can't even have a conversation with the person across the table. And even when you request for them to reduce the volume, there's some silly excuse like the volume knob is set and it can't be changed, all this sort of nonsense. So anyway, I did start digging. You can get a whole lot of things. In fact, the most common thing I've seen is these little foam earplugs that you can put into your ears. Those are disposable. You can get a little bottle of them and keep using them and tossing them out. I have in the past used earplugs that are just like a silicone tip completely with put onto these plastic mounts that you shove into your ear, but that cancels out a lot of everything. So I was looking for a good balance. I wanted something that will let me hear what's around me, not only for when I go to restaurants and so on, but if you happen to be biking, something that gets very loud on a motorbike is wind noise, especially if you're cruising between 90 to 100. The noise of that helmet it can be deafening, especially if you're riding for prolonged hours. So I did want something that will help reduce that noise, but at the same time let me hear what's around me. And what I did go for was the Sennheiser, this is called the SoundProtex earplugs. And it does come with this little box, of course, that has all these details on it. Now this, why I find it really interesting is because it is quite custom. It comes with a whole bunch of these silicone ear tips, so you can choose which one is your size. It comes in a large, medium and small. And it also comes with a set of these 4 filters. So it comes with a full filter, high, mid and low. So depending on the levels you want to cut out, the full is a complete block off. I think it's a completely sealed unit, whereas the mid, low and high have different levels of filtration. And what's cool is you do get this little cute little sort of carry pouch over here. So you can put it here, which is like a keychain. I'm using it as a keychain. And what else you do get is, well, I've been using the medium silicone ear tips, and you also do get this sort of little stretchy string you can use, which is getting knotted up right now. But this whole setup sits very comfortably around your neck, which I find comfortable. So it's kind of this stretchy material, and I normally sort of sling this around my neck whenever I'm riding my motorbike or even if I'm going to a restaurant these days. So what's cool is they do come with this silicone thing that's very comfortable. It's very soft. I've worn these for maybe 2 hours at a stretch and never felt any sort of discomfort where it's pushing outward against my ear canal and it feels uncomfortable. These are properly very soft ear tips, and the filters you get sort of fit into this section. This is the filter right here. So the one I'm using was, I think, the high version, if I'm not mistaken. This is the high. Yes, there's low, mid, high and then full. So I tried this version because I first did try the mid on my motorbike and there was a lot of wind noise coming in, but it did maintain a lot of other noises. Like I could hear engine sounds, tire, road noise of cars and bikes going past me, but the wind noise, it wasn't culling. This one does that pretty well. So it cuts the wind noise, and at the same time I'm still able to hear what's around me. So it's very safe. I'm not distracted with music and all that sort of stuff. I don't like doing that. But yeah, this I'd say helps a lot with wind noise when it comes to riding a motorbike. And this will also help tremendously if you don't want to cut out a lot of noise around you, and keep the decibel level at a moderate level, so you don't come out of a restaurant feeling deafened by it. So this is something that I'd strongly recommend, especially considering I've been using this maybe for about the last 3 weeks now. I've really put it through all sorts of different tests, be it at restaurants, be it while riding, to cut out any wind noise, and it's genuinely done a very good job. So if you are somebody who is genuinely concerned about protecting your hearing in the long run, because this is one thing that's not really reversible. You can't get a set of glasses to correct your hearing. I would recommend this. Now, no doubt you can go for other stuff. There are some other brands. I've seen some stuff from Loop Earplugs has been advertising. I've never tested those. But for me, Sennheiser has been a trusted brand. I've owned their products in the past and I've really liked them. So anyway, if you do want to buy this, this comes in two different iterations. One is called the SoundProtex and the other one's called the SoundProtex Plus. The Protex Plus comes with 4 different filters, whereas the Protex does come with 2 different filters. Which 2 exactly, I'm not too certain. But the one I do have is the Protex Plus with 4 filters. So I've been able to cycle between all of them and see what is what and see what works best in certain situations. So if you do want to buy this, the SoundProtex goes for about 2,221 rupees. Now it does have an MRP of about 3,490, so that's a bit of a discount. And the SoundProtex Plus has an MRP of 5,990, but it's going for about 2,990 right now. I think it's pretty worth it, because this isn't something that it's not a use and throw thing. If you do consider those foam earplugs that you can use and throw, yes, it's very affordable, and yes, to a certain extent, it'll last you a very long time and not cost as much as these do. But then at the same time, you don't have that flexibility of being able to change filters with those. With this, you do have that. Now, if you are a person who knows you're going to lose your ear tips or your whatever sound protection that you have, I'd say go for the foam stuff, because those are definitely affordable. And even if you lose a set, you just reach into that little bottle and get out a fresh set. But if you know you are careful with your stuff, like I've strapped this to my keychain, to my bike key, so I know I'm not going to be losing this. But remember to protect your ears while you're in noisy places, and if you're riding a motorbike as well. So anyway, that's my quick review on these sound protection earplugs, and I do hope I've given you a better understanding for these, of course, and I do hope that I've helped you make some sort of purchase decision. If you would like to help support the channel, I'm sure you know exactly how to, but of course, thank you for tuning in for some sound advice.